We're joined on the set by Ivan Eland, and he's a senior fellow and the director of the Center on Peace and Liberty right here in Washington, D.C. Ivan, great to see you again. We remember it was just shy of a year ago when Ms. Merkel was here and her personal cell phone was tapped by the NSA. It created a frosty meeting. Do you expect the meeting this time to be a little bit warmer?
Yeah, I do. I mean, these things sort of, the German public was really mad about this given the Nazi past and everything. And I don't think the U.S. realized what, this sort of thing would come, when it was divulged that they had been monitoring her cell phone. This brought back all the flood of memories for the German public. And so this put pressure on Merkel. But I think, countries really, in the back rooms, they know everybody spies on everybody else. It's just when the public comes out, then the public pressure. So I think it'll be warmer now because these things are often, sort of swept under the rug.
What does she hope to accomplish while she's here regarding Ukraine?
Well, I think, she would like the U.S. not to provide weapons. The British and the U.S. are more prone to provide weapons than the French and the Germans, who have more economic contacts with Russia and a closer relationship. They don't want to. It could be the good cop, bad cop routine where, they use the U.S. leverage to say, hey, we're going to put weapons in there, and maybe that'll help negotiations.
When you see this dire humanitarian situation unfolding, all of these cars lining up at the border, getting out of there, the shelling, 5,000 people killed so far, many high-ranking leaders in the U.S. government are making the case that Kiev has the right to defend itself. Will she make any headway with the president on this, do you think? Is he liable to be swayed at all?
Well, the vice president said the other day that the Ukrainians do have a right to defend themselves. Now, whether the U.S. will directly give them weapons or find a way, as during the Iran-Iraq war, to give Iraq weapons indirectly without actually doing it. There are ways you can do that. I don't know, but I think they're certainly using it as leverage in the negotiations. The real problem here is this problem was caused many years ago when the Soviet Union fell and they pushed NATO east. That's what really this is about, because Putin wants to get a zone of control in the Ukraine so he can veto Ukraine's entry into NATO, which he is scared about. And Russia is Putin is not a very likable guy, but Russia has a zone of influence, and great powers have had that. And it's very important to Russia. They've been invaded by the Swedes, the French, the Germans, everybody has invaded Russia. And so they want this buffer zone. Ukraine is very important for that. And I think that's why they're reacting the way they are. Now, there are no good options. I think the sanctions are actually causing a rally around the flag effect. And Putin is actually saying, hey, I got a lot of support. I'm going to stick it to you. I'm going to put more stuff in there.
Moving toward to the talks on Wednesday in Minsk, what is likely to come out of this? They're tempering it with saying that it doesn't look good.
Well, I don't think it looks very good because I think there's no incentive for Putin to do anything. I mean,
what would be an incentive for him?
Well, I mean, it would be an incentive if the U.S. started putting weapons in there, but I think that only gets more people killed, and it sort of violates the sphere of influence rule.
Is he likely to reciprocate with providing weapons to the rebels then?
Well, I think he already is. He says he's
not. Russia says they are
not.
Yes,
they're not. But I think there's indications that they probably are, both weapons and actual men in certain cases. So I think, he holds all the cards because he has local superiority over there. That's why NATO expanded just shy of the Ukraine is so ridiculous, because you can't defend that far.
With the humanitarian situation spiraling out of control, will there be even more pressure put on him to come to some sort of an agreement here?
Well, it might put some pressure on him, but we've seen worse humanitarians in the Syria and everything, and that doesn't seem Gaza, et cetera, and it doesn't seem to push leaders when they really think their country's interests are at stake. And I think Ukraine is very important to Russia, and it's more important to Russia than it is to the West. So I think that's why you're seeing Putin be dogged. I don't support what he's done, but I think the U.S. has to take some responsibility for pushing him into that.
Ivan Eland, thank you as always. We appreciate you.
Thank you.